going to bring our next CEO onto the stage and our last CEO for the evening, the only CEO really that can close a night like tonight. This is a guy who has not only been a great corporate and civic leader in New York for many years, he's a hotel titan, he's a co-owner of the Giants, he's a best-selling author, he's a television host, and he's really just a corporate leader par excellence. This is a guy who surrounded himself throughout his career with top-notch, smart, excellent, successful people. Not only on the business front, but on the home front as well. And his wife is here tonight. She's, by the way, beautiful, smart, and recently named by Vanity Fair as one of the international best dressed list. Something, by the way, that John could only dream about achieving. Let's give it up and give a lot of love for John Tisch, everyone.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to tell you right from the top that I'm not swearing. My in-laws are here. I did this about 6 years ago, and I love that David put it back together, CEO Comedy Night, get some people out of their usual frame of reference, invite some friends. When I did it 6 years ago, I was very single. And in those days, I'd get home about 5:30 in the morning just from being out and going clubbing. Now I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning and walking the dog. That's a little bit different for me. But I'm happy to be here. David, I was in the Middle East last week, and David was sending me emails saying this is what the night's going to look like, and could you go last? He didn't tell me that I'd be following Colin Quinn, who's one of the great comedians in this country, and two of my fellow CEOs and two other comedians, but I am very, very happy to be here. This is CEO Comedy Night, and the general impression of CEOs is that they're very tough, and they're not very funny. I'm here to prove that's right. David did mention that my beautiful wife, Lizzie, was on the Vanity Fair Best Dressed list. And I gotta tell you, I don't think she should have accepted it. I was a little bit upset. Look at this, it's not bad. They didn't put me on the men's list. They didn't put us on the best couple list. They put her on one of the best dressed females in the world. I guess she didn't read the part of the prenup that says no upstaging. Now, to her credit, I will say that Lizzie was very discreet about it. She brought home the issue and she hid it. I guess under the pillow wasn't such a great idea. And she said, John, I love you so much. And really, the only reason that I'm on this list is because when we go out together, I'm standing next to you. I think I took that as a compliment. But I gotta say that I'm not used to having a spouse or a partner or a mate who is there, who's getting all the accolades, all the acclaim. Now I know how Stedman feels. James, the earlier comedian mentioned Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is on the list, and he talked about those guns that she has. And not that Lizzie is competitive at all, but over the last 2 weeks, she is cutting the sleeves off all of her dresses. A couple weeks ago, I was down in Washington, D.C., and as you probably know, the travel industry is under tremendous stress right now. Business is not so good. The reason I was there is I went to the Treasury Department for dinner, and I had dinner with a couple of other industry CEOs, the head of Home Depot, the head of MetLife. Very serious setting. Treasury Department's been there 200 years, and we have a great dinner. We're talking about all these issues that are going to affect the future of this country. Secretary Geithner. And when dinner was over, the secretary pulls me aside. He says, John, we have about $100 billion left of TARP money. Do you need that to keep Lizzie on the list for next year? I said, that would be great, Mr. Secretary. Now, if I look a little stressed out, and if I've got bags under my eyes, I must tell you that Lizzie and I are living in a rental right now. And we pitched a tent in one of Donald Trump's buildings. We figured it was good enough for Gaddafi, it's good enough for us. The only problem with living in a Trump building is that the only thing you can get on TV is Celebrity Apprentice. So we're building this apartment, and I get a call from the contractor a few weeks ago, and he says, John, good news. The apartment is going to be done in the spring of 2012. I said, that's wonderful. Maybe by then it'll be worth at least half of what we paid for it. And Lizzie was great. She said, honey, I've got the decorating, I've got the architecture under control. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. I promise to bring it in less than the cost of the new Giant Stadium. $1.6 billion. Thanks, honey. What else is going on? Remember Balloon Boy? What a great story that was. What this family was thinking about is beyond me. Out in Colorado, Balloon Boy. He goes on, after the whole day where they're trying to find him and he's in the house, he goes on Good Morning America, and he almost throws up on his family. A half hour later, he goes on the Today Show, and if you were watching it, he did throw up on his family. His friends at school, a couple hours later, voted him the kid most likely to be Amy Winehouse. When Colin mentioned Amy Winehouse, you guys laughed. What's up with that? This family must be so crazy. They put all these rescuers through a lot of stress. It costs a lot of money. I decided the punishment is that they should all be living in a box in the garage, in the ceiling. Since I got married, I have a little bit more time, and like many other people,